If you have a Girard Tankless Water Heater, model number GSWH-2, stay tuned and I'll show you what it took to fix ours after we noticed a small water leak around our water flow sensor. A couple weeks back, we were camping and we noticed a water trickle coming from the water heater. Well, under closer inspection, as I started to look around, I noticed that there was water coming from the water flow sensor. Now, it started out as a small sort of trickle coming out of the water heater itself, but then it really started getting worse as the days went on. So luckily, we were only there for maybe 2 or 3 days, and by the time we left, we didn't need the water heater anymore, so we shut everything down. So in this video, what I wanted to discuss was what it took to fix this, the water flow sensor. Now this video is not going to cover taking out the water heater out of the camper, because a lot of times I feel like it could vary from one unit to the next what it would take to take the water heater out. This is more just going to cover in-depth, close-up, what I noticed was wrong and how I fixed it. Like I said in the intro, if you've got the tankless water heater, show you the model number here, the GSWH-2 tankless water heater from Girard. This is what it kind of looks like from the inside when you take the outer shell off. That where ours leaked from was right in here, and this is what they're calling the water flow sensor. So the water comes in from the camper, goes through here, and then it measures the flow of water, goes into the heater, and then is heated, and then it goes back out. So in order to test and figure out to make sure if that was the only place it was leaking, kind of just made some little Frankenstein parts here. But one of the things I needed to do was I brought this back to the house and I made this out of some spare tubing and some pieces that I had, and I was able to actually connect the water hose from our house to this. And then this is where the hot water comes back out. I had one of these and this worked out really well, because when I was done testing everything, I was able to just turn this nozzle and let the water pressure out of the water heater so that I could start working on the repair to this. So I've already fixed it and I don't really want to take it apart again, although I could make another video in the future if someone wanted to see this. But you've got a screw right here, and then you've got a screw right here. When you undo these two screws, you've got O-ring washers that are here and here, and they're the same washer, same O-ring, excuse me. Now, I don't want to make this too long. I would not try to call Girard on this part, because the person I talked to, although they were very nice, they had no idea what part I was looking for, even though this was their water heater. These are what they sent. Well, they sent me a schematic of this whole thing, and I had to tell them which one of the O-rings it was, and that made sense. But this is one of them that they said goes here, and then I ordered another set and it turns out that it goes into another spot here in the water heater that is these. Well, it turns out none of them are right. That's not what you need at all. So what I found was this is a 200 assorted plumbing O-rings. Well, it turns out it's this one. It's the number 12 O-ring that you need. If I'm not mistaken, 12 or 13, one of those two. So it was $20, $5 a piece for each of these little O-rings, plus $12 for shipping. So in all, it cost to get these to the house for $35. I bought this kit for 10. And the kit that I found on Amazon, and I'll post a link down below, was 7. So basically you can fix your water heater with this number 12 or number 13 O-ring. I can't remember which one it is. I would highly recommend taking the water heater to a place where you can connect it up to a water supply, because there's another video out there that when I first watched it, that the person repaired the water heater at the camper itself and really didn't do any testing. And I don't doubt this man's skill and expertise in what he does for a living. It just made more sense to bring it home, because then I was able to verify that it wasn't one of these copper pipes in this heat box that was broken or popped from a water expansion, and that it was just this. So when I put in the O-ring, I replaced both these O-rings, and I turned all this back on, it was dry as a bone. You can see where it's completely clean inside there now. So we will be reinstalling the water heater back into the camper. So I will try to do as best I can in this video here, letting you know how to replace those O-rings. But if you do have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments. And I really appreciate you stopping by and taking a listen. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.